Oh, yeah. Picture. How cool is that? Oh, yeah. It's a nonsense. Because people think it's a junk.
Filling out forms, you only have to fill out the parts that say required. Unless you want to provide more information.
Yeah, that's right. That's what we developed this system. That's right. It's part of the growth. I think the use of something was smaller. Yeah, why do we have? Yeah, or just get sworn in. So that. There's no legal. No, it's not a contested case. So we really doing it. Today's. You can just read it. All. You see. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Here, thanks. That's.
Everybody make.
Okay, everybody, we're gonna get started. Can I get your attention, please? My name is Michael Newmark. I'm the administrative law judge for the Public Service Commission. The Public Service Commission is the state agency that's reviewing the application of ATC and Excel Energy and SPW for the, what we're calling the grid forward transmission line project. The commission's been reviewing this project for quite some time. It's also been collecting evidence, in this case. My job is to, collect the evidence, package it up, and present it to the decision makers in the case, which are the three commissioners that run our agency. So they need to use only the evidence I provide them in order to decide whether to approve, modify, or reject the application. That evidence includes the testimony and documents we collected on August 19th. We were in Madison and we heard from the applicant, interveners, and commission staff. And they presented expert testimony and they had their witnesses subject to cross-examination. We created a transcript of that hearing, and that's what the commissioners will read along with the documents that I received during the hearing. So that's the party session. That's all the parties in the case got to participate that way. We're also been receiving public comments to see what people along the proposed route think about the case, think about the project. And we've been doing that since June 25th, when the notice of hearing went out. We turned on the comment period, the public comment webpage, and we've been receiving comments by mail since June 25th. The comment deadline ends September 8th, so we need to have all those written comments received by the 8th. So if you're mailing them in, it's probably, I would get it in, well, it might be too late to get it in by Monday, but there's other options to make a comment, so just hang on and I'll tell you what they are. First of all, you're here today, so we can take your comment live. We have a transcriptionist here. Your comment will be transcribed and the transcription will be presented to the commissioners, and they'll read that as part of all the other documents that they receive. The other way to comment is to file a written comment. Easiest way is just to fill out your form and put your comment on the form, and we give you more pages if you need it. But then just hand it back to us today. I'll take those and give those to the commission. And the other way is to comment online. These forms have the web link and a QR code right to that form online where you can type in your comment and it gets submitted right away. It'll be available for the commission. Like I said, mailing, it may be, you may be pushing your luck getting that into us by Monday, but so I would advise you to use the other methods. But what we do is, so I'll review the comments and I present that to the commission. They'll read those as part of the materials they need to use to make a decision. Otherwise, I don't know what else I can give you at this point. Oh, yes, okay. So we're not doing a presentation about the project or doing like a Q&A, but what I can do is we have right now 4 people signed up to speak. And if you do have questions on the project or how it impacts your property, I can take comments now. We can also go into recess and you can ask your questions we have people here who can answer those questions. We have commission staff and also people from the applicants in the back row. They can answer questions that you might have about the project, and then you can come and give your comment with those answers in mind. So if you want to just present your question and say, I don't understand this, I'm opposed, and these are the reasons, I'm not getting the answers I want, you can present a comment like that. If you want to ask the questions to the people that are here and get your answers, then give me your comment with your answers in mind. That would be more productive for us to hear what you think about the information you just got. And I can provide time for you to get those answers now. But at this point, I have 4 people signed up, so I'm going to call your name one at a time. Have you come up, take a seat at the witness stand here. I'll swear you in, get your name, and then give us your opinion on the case. So, yeah.
Why do we have to be
Just off the record.
First of all,
That's what I do.
Yeah, what's the legal authority?
I have authority. So our process is to swear people in when I take testimony. I don't receive testimony that's not sworn.
Right.
And that's really the basis
Is
of
it a
that.
process or is it a legal state statute?
I have the authority to receive evidence, okay, by statute.
Blesses you with that authority.
Okay, so
These are fair questions.
If they're not really fair
Are they
questions,
not?
because I'm inviting you to comment.
No.
And no, I'm sorry, stop. I'm inviting you to comment. If I allow you to comment, I will. Okay, that's my authority as administrative law judge. But hang on. I do all I can. I do all I can to get public comments into the commission. That's my role, to encourage you to comment and to get you here and make your comment. We've been traveling the state all week to get comments in this case, so landowners can provide their opinion to the commission.
Thank you for saying.
Okay, but listen.
Just for the record.
My authority,
It is opinion. You just said it was opinion.
yes, exactly.
There we go.
So I don't know what you're,
Because when you're talking about swearing in, everybody who's sitting here understands that that is a court or judicial side of thing. It is.
no, I'm sorry. We can debate this. I can get your opinion, or I can get your opinion or not.
So thank you for saying that it's our opinion.
It is your opinion. I don't dispute it's your opinion,
I already-
but I want it sworn that you're telling the truth.
Okay, so
In your opinion, this is what I believe. That's exactly what I want to know,
Why are you getting so upset right now?
because I don't want to be interrupted.
Public comment, this is how it goes.
No, this is not how it goes.
Serve the landowners, okay, and we are.
Sir, do you want your comment heard or not? So then please, I will go through the process. I will call your name when it's time and you'll get your opportunity to give your comment. Otherwise, I don't want to hear from you. I want to hear your comment for the record.
Right now.
All right. I'm gonna leave and I'll be back when you're ready to comply with my orders.
Comply with what order?
That you're going to not talk and you're gonna let everyone else speak and give their comment. And you'll get your turn.
I asked a question,
No,
I did,
you'll get your turn to speak. Do you want to speak today?
absolutely.
Then you will get an opportunity to do so.
I asked if-
I will not answer any more of your questions. If these are off the record, these are not part of this case. All I'm gonna say is I have the authority to swear people in. I have the authority to receive evidence for this case that the commissioners review. I can reject or approve that evidence. I do not approve any evidence that's unsworn. So if you'd like your comment received and read by the commissioner, you will subject yourself to being sworn in. Otherwise, you can sit here and listen, but you will not give a comment that the commissioners will read. That's up to you. So please make your decision quietly. And I will start now to, instead of wasting everyone else's time, get comments from the people. Okay, we have Richard Gore first. Let's get on the record.
I shouldn't get sworn, is it?
I'm not taking your comment unless I swear you in. I'm sorry. That's my
Okay,
process.
I got my hand up, all
Sit
right?
down, sir. Sit
I
down.
got my hand up.
Raise your right hand, please. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do,
Give us your name and comment.
Richard J. Gore.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Wisconsin. Okay, I've been dealing with these guys, ATC, for the last umpteen years. I bought my place in 1981. One of the first incidents I had with this whole thing was they came in about a few years ago and changed my easement from 1954, which was signed by the purchaser or from the landowner that I bought my place from, okay? I didn't want to sign it. They threatened me for eminent domain. They already had an easement. They already had the easement from that time, but they made me change it. And as far as I'm concerned, I couldn't afford a lawyer. I couldn't afford a lawyer. Here's some more things. They can come in on my property because they have the easement. Over the years, I've been good to these people. I have roads going to the back parcels that they have their easement through. I let them use my roads. In all good faith. But that ended now, of course, because the area, the 8 acres that these poles go through is wetland, some of it. Some is high ground. In order to get to certain areas on the next landowner, they have to come through mine, which is their easement. All right? And what happens is, this is one of my beefs also. They have not done an archaeological study of this property. I have Indian mounds on this property. They have not sent one person in there to do it. All right? These mounds are registered with the state, but that doesn't mean that there's not other Indian mounds adjacent to those. You can't get it, you just can't get any place with these guys. They bring their appraisers in. They do what they please. They give you what they want. When land values are worth what they are today, they give you crap for it. They give you crap. They come in there, oh, you have a tree. You have a tree that's might hit the power lines. Might hit the power lines. What do they do with that tree? They don't cut it into the easement. No, they push it back in my other trees. I went around with them this year. I said, you're gonna clean it up. Environmental sound. What are they wrecking coming through wetlands? All right. There hasn't been any study, any plants, you know, in through this area. Now they want 50 more feet. We planted pine trees. We have beautiful oaks along this corridor. And now they will destroy 25 feet on one side and 25 feet on the other. I have white pines in one area that are huge. You can't get your arms around them. All right, that'll all be gone. And they're think the environmental will withstand this. We don't get payment for what that land is worth. If they come in there and pay us what we deserve to get paid, but when you're talking white oaks, tamarack trees, and all these different things that are in here, plus the sumac, if you like sumac, and I hope when the workers come, they'll get it. But I've been dealing with this guy. You make one comment, they call the sheriff's department on you. It's ridiculous. You just can't talk to these people. When land is selling for $5,000 an acre, I believe we should get $5,000 or more an acre for that 8 acres. And I think that there aren't a lot of people here, but I know that everyone's opposed to this. And I don't know what comments you have, but I'm fed up. I'm 78 years old. I'm fed up. One time, they were gonna put a gas line, a 4-foot diameter gas line under those power lines. ATC or whoever owned it before, yeah, ATC was gonna give them permission to do that. We fought that. Finally, some other company got, you know, ahead of them, which was one good thing. But these people that work for this company, they don't give a crap. They don't give a crap. I didn't get that place paid for by, or left to me. And I don't wanna see it destroyed. It's just sickening. We should be able to they got enough easement, but yet they gotta have, and it's all about greed. It's greed. It's government greed. I should say government, it's owned by who? CEOs, some ladies. And they just want more. They tell us, oh, you're gonna get 16% decrease in your electric bills. I haven't seen it yet. And they wanna put up these poles, I'm not exactly sure how tall they are. Give me an answer to that. I think they're 150 or 160 foot tall.
How tall are
How tall are they? No, it depends. They're all gonna be the same.
Okay, you guys, you can get questions answered offline in the, outside the room, and then come back and you can give the information.
These guys are pawns that work for them because you can't deal with. They're pawns. I'd like to see every one of those guys, I'd like to see every one of them have that power line run next to their place and wreck their property. That's what I'd like to see. I know places right along my line, it'll go right over the top of their house, those lines. And I think it's time, because of all these lobby people going for ATC to Madison, public service. It's sickening. It's sickening. And then they don't want you around. They put their work sign up back there. I can't even go on my own property then. How deep are they? I'm gonna ask that question, but I understand that those holes that they're gonna dig in our wetlands are gonna be 30, maybe 60 feet deep. What's it gonna do to the water system? I think there's 7 poles on mine. 7 poles. The last time they changed the poles to the old wooden poles. And an engineer in there from, I don't know, Missouri, come in there in March. They laid down all their tiles or their mats for their machines. I came home back from my job, which was a teacher. Came back home and a helicopter was flying, hovering above there. They had double matted so they could get their equipment in there. Then when they pulled them out, they left them in there, some of them. And they're still in there, and I can take you right to the place where they are. They just shoved them down in it. Yeah. Did I get paid for that? Oh yeah, we got paid some money to put them new poles. Money isn't an object. I don't want the money. I want my farm preserved. That's what I want. That's what I want. And we can't afford to hire lawyers for these people because they break us. That's my beat.
Thanks for your comment. All right, let's have Benjamin Gore next. Pull up the chair there.
Stand, thank you.
No, I'm, you need to sit.
I would like to stand.
Please, sir, I ask everyone to sit, and you will be one of them too.
Okay. I will sit to be sworn in, but I'd like to stand.
I'm not going to take
I'm
your
a
comment.
man. I'm a man, and I'd like to
I
stand.
understand you're a man. That has nothing to do with this.
It does, actually.
You will
I'm
not,
sworn in.
you will not stand when you give your comment. I
Why?
will not, because I want to keep the room decorous and respectful.
It would be
And
respectful.
I believe.
I was standing
I-
respectful.
Sir, we've already been at this already. You know you're not gonna get your way, because I will not let you make your comment unless you do it my way. Because that's what I do, that's my job. So I'm gonna ask you, I'll swear you in. If you stand up, we'll go off the record and you will not have your comment read by the commission. If you sit and comply with how I run these hearings, I will gladly take your
Swear me in.
comment. Do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Give us your name, please.
My name is Benjamin Gore.
Go ahead.
Hello, my name is Benjamin Gore. And I am one of the many landowners in which ATC has afflicted massive hardship upon. Not only me, but all landowners, and more importantly, my family. Family which I would go to great lengths for, as I'm sure all of you would do the same. So let me be clear on this. My family is paramount in protecting, and when an outside force pushes against my loved ones with great conviction, I will not be one to be begging on my knees for your approval of my words, whoever that may be with ATC. I will not beg for your approval of my words. Instead, I will stand on my 2 feet and meet anything or anyone that goes against my family with high levels of pure and absolute lack of surrender. And I think any man would do that for his family. I think that's holistically important, that we still have young men who are willing to do that. So for my family, I'll be the solid foundation of structure, and nothing will shake my foundation. Our family is sick and tired of this egregious overreach by ATC, and this is pond scum behavior. And with that, my family and neighbors have been on the unfortunate brunt end of ATC's power and control. My testimony is reasonable, relevant, and necessary due to the fact my family and our land will be directly impacted by the disgusting actions of ATC. Our land, not ATC's land, it's our land. Because the last time I just checked, we pay the taxes on that property. ATC does not. Would that be correct? That you all pay your property taxes and ATC does not? ATC is a dominant bully against landowners. Why is ATC such a negative force? That's a great question. Let me answer it for you. ATC hires consultants, contractors, and entities, that of which deal with landowners. And in this way, they are subcontracted out, and so that way landowners cannot speak directly with ATC management. I would hope that some of you back there are part of the board of directors for ATC, and I'm not sure if you are, but we'll get to that. So these consultants, contractors, and other entities are scripted. That's my opinion. I do believe that they are scripted, and they can say what they've been told they can and cannot say to landowners. And in this manner, ATC, their management, circumvents any and all grievances that landowners have against them. And I would say cowards is a fitting word for that. You should stand in front of the people you're about to take land from, by the way. Don't be cowards. Cowards who bully their way and take what is not theirs through mass amounts of financial backing and well-paid lawyers. Due to this, the unfortunate reality is we cannot afford to fight ATC financially. We, the landowners, are small town folks who have broken our bodies throughout our lives, sustaining and maintaining our properties and our families. We have been taxed to death. We have been governed far too much and far too long. We have been used and abused by big government time and time again. We catch no breaks in life because we have done it the correct way. And we feel hoard out. We feel exhausted. We feel forgotten. We have been made to feel worthless, and we are not cared about, specifically by ATC and all of their subcontractors and entities and powers that are hired by them. You do not care about us. All you care about is money. It is only through our doing anything in this nation goes forward. We create this nation, not some corporate entity doing state and federal infrastructure contracting work. We conquered this land with our blood, sweat, and tears. So this brings me to my next point. ATC, whether it be said or not, is doing contracting work on behalf of government. These are infrastructure-based contracts. They have to be. Landowners had legally binding contracts with ATC. And now, all of a sudden, when ATC decides on behalf of government contracts, they want to break those contracts. And they call it renegotiating contracts. This is utter and absolute bullshit. It is not a renegotiation, it is a breaking of a contract. Because if we did this, if small town American folks did this, we would end up in civil litigation or criminal liability if we broke contracts like that. But ATC, with all the lawyers they have, they can just renegotiate. It's called a renegotiation. It's not called breaking contract. So this is savagery against us. And this behavior is very consistent with those who do not care about the well-being of people, but only about money. And so, although ATC is a private organization, they are doing bidding on behalf of government. And if landowners do not accept their terms, ATC will take land by eminent domain. And in this, ATC, by proxy, is an overreaching arm of the government by taking land from landowners through power and control. This is well within the definition of communism. Well within the definition. Because by proxy, ATC is doing the bidding on behalf of government, and you're taking land without due compensation if we don't go to the negotiation table that you want to give us. Not what we want, what you want. So, an entity taking what's not theirs for the greater good on behalf of government is absolutely communistic. Correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm not wrong, by the way, but we fought wars against communism. Our own government sent our brightest and best men to die in foreign lands to stave off communism, and yet now by proxy through ATC, our own government is using ATC to take our land by communistic means. And so, we the people, us, our families, are sick and tired of this horse shit method of renegotiating contracts. Leave us alone. Just leave our families alone. That's all we want. Like my dad said, all we want is our farm. It's all wordplay. It's all horse and pony show, and the shit still smells. So all right. So, are any of you ATC board of directors back here?
And do you want us to?
You can't even answer that question. It's fine. It's fine. I understand. I know.
I'm not.
Okay, that's fine. I understand. Be men. Speak up. ATC management does not have the stones, the balls, the coconuts, or the grit to sit and defend their actions in person. Where is Teresa Mogensen, president and CEO? Where is Suzanne Allen, president and CFO? Where is Lisa Barton, president and CEO of Alliant Energy? Where is Marcia Berkey, executive vice president and chief financial officer of Trempealeau? Where is John Jamar, chief executive officer of CCI Systems? Where is Jeffrey Keebler, president and chief executive officer of MGE Energy and Madison Gas and Electric Company? Where is Scott Lauber, president and chief executive officer of WEC Energy Group? Where is Scott Mayer, retired president of AT&T Network and Engineering Operations? Where is Gail Norton, president of Norton Regulatory Strategies? Where is Michael Peters, president and chief executive officer of WPPI Energy? And where is Roger Wood, the founder of RHW Advisory? Where is the board of directors for ATC? Are they in the room with us today? Again, they are not here. I don't know if any of you are. Again, fine, that's fine. Usually my answer. Again, they are not here because they are cowards who don't care about the names and families of which the land they're about to take. This is disgusting, it's abhorrent, and it's ultimately unacceptable. All they care about is money, and money which lines their pockets, and money which puts them in homes which are not threatened by the higher powers who have massive power and control. So imagine if they were in the same circumstances and they were about to lose a part of their home or their property, would they not be equally upset and pissed off? These people disgust us. They may be superior in wealth, but they are inferior in all other personal attributes. And so in closing, I am not here to give you the details surrounding all the unfortunate and ridiculous problems ATC has caused against our families. Those being spraying chemicals on our land, renegotiating contracts, time and time again, destroying our land with heavy machinery, disrespecting our time, disrespecting our finances, disrespecting our livelihood, disrespecting our way of life, and disrespecting our families, specifically my family. And I don't like it when people disrespect my family. Clearly, you can tell. So these things are completely well known that this is what ATC does. What I'm here to say to you, as I stated above, I'm not here to beg for your approval of my words. I know that these public hearings and these commentary sections, they don't mean shit. ATC is going to do what they do. So I'm not here to beg you for your approval of my words. Just know that I will always stand on my own 2 feet from what I have said, and with my heart and with sincere conviction that these are the words I stand by. We will not be broken. The American spirit lives on, and welcome to the backbone of America. We bow to no one.
All right, thank you, sir. Tremval-Arpin-Columbia. Sorry, I know I mispronounced that, but I appreciate your patience with that.
Andrew.
Andrew, all right. Come up here so we can get you on the screen, and I will swear you in. You swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
I do.
All right. Give us your name and comment.
Okay, I am Tim Andrick, one of the many landowners under the existing ATC transmission lines that oppose the grid forward line expansion project. My neighbors and I have been fighting ATC roughly the last 10 years over ATC's operation, use, and misuse of their easement rights over our land. My testimony is relevant to this proposal because it will explain how ATC treats landowners and will force landowners into agreeing to the loss of additional property rights for this project under the threat of condemnation for less than the fair market value of their taken property. Landowners are not allowed to talk to ATC directly. ATC hires consultants and contractors to deal with landowners and directs them as to what information they can share and what they can say and authorize with landowner contacts. If you call a decision maker at ATC or someone that's an ATC employee to discuss any proposal, they will not return your calls. The contractors or consultants will return your calls, not ATC staff. The easements to the existing power line for my neighbors and I were initially entered into in 1954 through 1957 by Wisconsin Power and Light, the predecessor agency to ATC. The easement specifically authorized the installation of wooden H-frame structures to install and maintain an electric power line. They also authorized tree cutting and tree trimming in the easement corridor as necessary to maintain the line. This arrangement worked without incident for roughly 60 years with Wisconsin Power and Light, and initially with ATC. No significant incidents of fires, lines arcing, causing power outages, or other safety or electricity reliability issues occurred. About 10 years ago, this changed. ATC decided that they wanted to now mow all the vegetation in the power line corridor so they could drive over the entire easement right away. They started mowing all the vegetation, brush, and small trees on wetlands, bogs, woodlots, forests, and environmentally sensitive areas in the easement corridors, destroying valuable wildlife habitat that many landowners like myself highly value for recreational purposes. However, the easement specifically authorized the cutting and trimming, but not brushing or mowing of all vegetation, just the cutting and trimming of trees, not the brushing or mowing of all vegetation. And under the law, easement rights that are not specifically conferred or conveyed by the landowner grantor in the easement document are not granted. ATC disagreed with our interpretation and tried to continue mowing it. But after we went to the Marquette County Sheriff's Office and they agreed with us that ATC was not acting under the authority of the easement and thus trespassing. ATC then decided to purchase supplemental brushing and mowing easements from us and our neighbors. When we fought with ATC over the value of the brushing and mowing easements, ATC initially lowballed us and had their consultants conduct appraisals that showed supplemental brushing easements were worth a few hundred to a few $1,000s, and to give ATC the right to mow and remove all the wildlife habitat in the easement corridor for not 100 years, for not 1,000 years, but forever, in perpetuity, for longer than 1,000 years, longer than 10,000 years. We objected and joined together with a number of landowners to force ATC to provide more reasonable proposals. ATC hired a consultant, Mr. Robert Osterhaus, to deal with landowners and present their proposed offers, which always ended with, if you do not accept this offer, we will take the easement rights by condemnation. Again, we were not allowed to discuss with ATC staff or decision makers, only their hired messenger who was told what he could tell us. After a year of fighting over what the fair market value is for permanently taking all the wildlife habitat in the easement corridor by mowing it, ATC gave us their jurisdictional offer. That is, the refusal to accept this offer begins the eminent domain process. And the next step will be a court hearing in front of a condemnation commission. Again, we are not allowed to talk to ATC decision makers about the offer or any additional considerations or conditions, such as the time, the year that they would do the cutting and mowing, the amount of notice that they would give or provide landowners, and where and how they would access the lines. We're only allowed to talk to ATC's hired messenger, who was told what he was allowed to tell us. Many of us wanted to continue to fight, but did not have the resources to hire legal representation and attorneys to continue this fight in court. Thus, in 2019 and 2020, at least 13 landowners in Green Lake and Marquette County signed supplemental brushing easements for the rate at that time at about $10,000 per parcel, or $10,000 per tax parcel, for the additional mowing rights that we gave ATC. Then ATC continued to push other landowners for brushing easements in the easement corridor, but for much less than what they paid us, as others were not as organized as we were. However, when acquiring easement property under threat of condemnation, the law requires just compensation or purchase at fair market value. ATC's practice was to establish fair market value by comparable sales. The comparable sales of these brushing easements to us and our neighbors established a fair market value in 2019 and 2020 of $10,000 per parcel. Over time, that fair market value went up with the rapidly rising value of real estate, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic. It did not go down and became less. However, ATC, through eminent domain jurisdictional offers, began to force other landowners in accepting substantially less than they paid us. One egregious case, I have to mention it, and I did get permission from him to mention it. Our neighbor, Mr. Richard Treader, was especially taken advantage by ATC. In 2023, 4 years after ATC paid us, they offered him half of what they paid us, with the usual caveat, they'll take it through eminent domain condemnation if you do not agree. We told him what they paid us, and he said initially no. Then ATC sent him the jurisdictional offer, still 33% less, third less than what they paid us 4 years earlier. And then that was after a period when real estate fair market values jumped way up during the COVID pandemic. When Mr. Treader initially balked at it, they scheduled the eminent domain court hearing in front of the condemnation commission. Preferring not to go to court, Mr. Treader agreed to the jurisdictional offer, which was roughly $10,000 less in total than what they paid us 4 years earlier, based on the rate that they paid us and the rate that he should have gotten. If he had gotten the same rate they paid us, they would have paid him another $10,000. So then 5 days before the still scheduled court hearing, the eminent domain proceeding, ATC had their consultant deliver easements to Mr. Treader's signature at his home in the evening. That evening, ATC, without prior notice, required 2 additional conditions. One was permanent access to drive anywhere on Mr. Treader's property to access the easement corridor, even though there already was drivable access to the easement corridor by a public right-of-way, County Tranche J, that the power line crossed adjacent to Mr. Treader's property. The other last-minute condition was the permanent
right to use chemicals to kill vegetation in the easement corridor, even though over half the easement corridor went through Mr. Tredder's crop fields. Mr. Tredder was told, take it or ATC will see you in court in a few days at the condemnation hearing. It was evening and Mr. Tredder had limited options for any help. So they basically forced him into signing to avoid going to court that week, receiving a third less at a rate than what they paid us, and giving ATC permanent rights to drive anywhere across his property that they did not need. They already could drive to the line, and the use of chemicals. ATC does not engage in good faith bargaining. Landowners are not allowed to talk to them. They bully landowners under threat of condemnation to take much less than fair market value for the easement and conditions they impose. ATC also does not comply with the terms of the easements. After we gave them supplemental brushing easements, they went out and took out the old wooden H-frame structures that were specifically authorized by the easements and replaced them with structures that are not authorized by the easements, installing significantly larger and higher metal T-poles that are not specifically authorized under the easements. Easements, again, only convey or grant rights from landowners that are specifically authorized in the easement documents. So rather than request permission from the landowners to install these structures that were not authorized, or ask or talk to landowners about getting permission to put them in, ATC just put them in, taking away rights from the landowners that they did not pay for or get agreement from landowners to do. In summary, ATC bullies, uses, misleads, and abuses landowners. We respectfully ask that the Public Service Commission investigate ATC's actions towards landowners and not approve this project. If the PSC commissioners decide to approve this project, we respectfully request that it be approved with the following conditions. 1, ATC must demonstrate and guarantee that they will act in good faith with landowners pertaining to communications, integrity, honesty, fairness, especially in determining just compensation for fair market value of additional rights being purchased. Under this line, they're going to need another 50 feet, 20 feet on each side of the line that they're going to take from us. So we're asking for reasonable notice be required for any additional easement conditions being proposed or required by ATC, such as if they want to drive across our entire property, if they want to use chemicals, etc. These cannot be last minute conditions like they were with previous in 2023 with Mr. Tredder. ATC must also provide a point of contact that is an ATC personnel, staff person that landowners can contact, including their phone number, email, and mailing address that landowners can contact regarding concerns with the easement and easement negotiations. Someone that's got some say in what goes on, someone that has some decision-making authority. And this information, their contact information, should be included in an easement document or supplementary recorded easement document. So landowners can talk to someone that's not a hired consultant who is given speaking points. We can actually talk to someone that can make some decisions about when they're going to come out and mow on our property, do the work on our property, and how it conflicts with what we're doing out there. Reasonable prior notice should be given to landowners of at least 48 hours, unless it's an emergency, should be required before doing any work in the easement corridor. Work in the easement corridor will be scheduled when practical during periods that do not interfere with the landowner's use of the property. Such provisions should be included in the easement document or supplemental recordable easement documents. In addition, an affordable and simple appeals process should be established for landowners, rather than having to hire an attorney and initiate a lawsuit in circuit court to appeal ATC decisions, including to appeal what is included in the final jurisdictional offers. Such appeal process should allow the Public Service Commission to intervene and challenge actions by ATC that are challenge actions that ATC does, that allows landowners to fairly provide their information to the Public Service Commission and Public Service Commission to order or rectify ATC actions. ATC and their successor agency needs to be required to make annual payments instead of a one-time payment to landowners for as long as they are using the easement corridor across their land. including inflationary adjustments over time as identified by the Consumer Price Index or other suitable inflationary index. It is not possible to determine fair market value, market price value for easement rights purchased for use for more than 100 years, for use at more than 1,000 years, for use in perpetuity or forever. It is not possible to determine what those easement rights are worth more than 1,000 years from now. It's not possible to determine what fair market value is. Thus, an annual payment tied to inflationary adjustments to the consumer price index is what should be required. Currently, once ATC amortizes the cost of a one-time payment for rights in an easement, the use of the easement is free in perpetuity, which is just not fair or just compensation to landowners. So thank you for the opportunity to comment. My name, address, phone number, everything is included. I'm gonna give you these
Okay,
written
great.
comments to include in the record, please.
Yes, that's great. Thank you. Let me just check. The property that you're talking about, is this Schutz Road?
No, it's not.
Okay, would you give us the address?
For that?
Yeah,
I can do that.
okay,
I don't have it right here. I gotta go to my vehicle and get it.
okay, all right, that's fine, no problem. So,
Here,
and
you want me to bring this back with it on it?
well, it's off the record. I can just have you write it on here later. It's fine. You don't have to do it right now.
I can do it right now.
Okay, well, I just had another question for you. So
Okay.
if we'll get back on the record, but can you spell the name of the neighbor that you're talking about? Let me just-
It's in here.
Oh, it's in there? Okay.
Richard Treader. It's right in there. Here, I'll put you.
Treader. Okay, I got it.
You
Yeah.
want the address?
Yeah, just so we know.
Box what, Ben?
It's gotta be, where we can locate it.
Route 2?
You're saying Shredder's address?
No.
No, yours,
Yours,
yeah.
yours. What's the box?
Our?
Yeah, off of Highway J.
West 5865 County Road J.
Yeah, 585665.
West 5865 County Road J. Princeton, Wisconsin. 54968.
Great. And just so I'm aware, that's the property you're talking about when you were talking about the easement and the easement changing, this is the property you're talking about.
This is the property.
Okay, all right. Great.
That's the address.
Yeah, yeah,
for it.
yeah, perfect. All right. Thanks very much. Appreciate it. Okay, rest your fingers. It's some fast talkers. All right, good. In a good way, yeah. So Charlotte Nyborg. Have a seat. Swear you in, swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
I do.
All right, give us your name and comment.
Charlotte Nigbert. And my comment is, I'm in Washera County. And I have my grandfather's land because my grandfather and my father have both passed away. So I've only had the property for 2 years. So I haven't had to deal with any of this other stuff yet. And so now this is new to me. And I just feel, I have 3 other siblings. And some of them potentially would like to build houses on the property. And with it only being 20 acres and you add more and take more away, then it's gonna limit where they can build. Plus, they're not gonna wanna build near the High Line with it coming through there because of maybe health concerns and things like that. And I think that, I know that the original easement was done by my grandfather, like he said, back in the 19, whatever, before I was born. And I feel that, we should get compensation every year, just like I have to pay taxes every year on it. And, I just feel like I would like, fair market value for what property they take. I know prices on land is way up because we are farmers in a different area of Washera County. And our prices to sell our land are going up and up and up. So I feel that they should look into that, compared to what they gave you before. They should, give you more for what they took. And that's thank you for letting me speak, and I'm sorry I don't know more history of the line going through my property. But I'm all new to this. so.
Okay, no, I appreciate you being here. Thanks. And so it's the last appearance that I have. I don't have anyone connected to Zoom to give a comment at this point. But if you do want to speak, fill out a form and you get the form from Allison at the table, fill it out. She'll bring it to me. You just have to check that yes box that you wish to speak, and then I can call your name and have you come up. So we have Adam Hahn. Swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
Yes, I do.
All right, name and comment.
So my name is Adam Hahn. We farm, our family farm is in Columbia County. Tough acts to follow here, but just speaking directly to both the members of the PSC and the people affiliated with, is also want to get my name in front of the people here with ATC, and I'm here to be truthful. Here we are, a little history about us. We have 7 towers on our property, our family farm. This easement was obtained from my grandfather, who is still alive, 96, talks about the process. I was gonna bring him here tonight, but he's actually in a nursing home, and it was a little bit more of a struggle than I would hope, and he's a lot longer winded than I am, so probably for the sake of all of us, he didn't make it, but if need be, we do have a living reference to when this procedure even happened, and so this easement was obtained from our family farm, not willingly, but you know, we understand things happen, you know, there's a need out there and there's a process, and it happened. And so my concern here is today, is this would actually be the 3rd time this design has changed. These towers are gonna be changed for the 3rd time now. And in this amount of time, our farm has changed as well. And so my wife and I are the 6th generation owners. So our farm was homesteaded in 1845. Wisconsin became state in 1848. So in theory, I know it doesn't have a whole lot of water, but no law should apply to us, right? Because we were here before Wisconsin was. We don't practice that, but in theory, it should hold a little water. But so here we are. This is a 3rd design. You know, there's more needs, there's bigger structures, there's bigger lines, there's more capacity. I get it. It's progression. It happens, and here we are. Well, my question is this: that as the needs of the people of the state and area have changed, so has our farm. Our farm has changed from, we had horse barns, to a tractor, to multiple tractors, to dairy farm, to a beef farm, to a fairly progressive crop farm. And currently, our next step of our farm, our 6th generation farm, is irrigation. We have some lighter soil types. We want to put irrigation in. We already practice a different form of irrigation where it's inefficient, but we set down traveling guns, pull them out, reset, pull, only because we're not able to put a fixed structure in these fields. And the reason why we don't do that is because we have these crazy things called the highline poles that we don't own, that are cutting our fields in on an angle, 80-acre parcel fields that don't allow for this fixed structure to go in. So this entire time, our farm has been affected, and here we are changing design. And, you know, again, probably the rest of my life, these structures will be in here. And I hope my kids want to farm this thing and we'll have a 7th generation. But here we have a change in design, and we're saying, we'd like to change with, and I'll take this opportunity to change with the ATC folks in having this design change. And so I bring to you a problem, but I also want to bring a solution. And I think, you know, I can't say, well, you have this easement, you have this right away, you can do this. But I also want to say, hey, guys, I'll work with you. I'll work with you to find a solution that would work for both of us and allow our farm to continue to another generation. And I do that I have some maps I'd be happy to share, and I want them entered into the record as well. But you know, just working with you in placement, but also we have parcels where we could run them in a straight line parallel with an existing road, and we would get out of 3 different 80-acre parcels, so we could still simultaneously make sure that the power stays on, the lights stay on, but also we can continue our new practices. So I think it's a viable plan. It's got merit. You know, we're willing to work with people, and we hope that there is a future here, and it's not a one-dimensional take it or leave it type approach, because you know, we're practical people here. You know, we come and we're sensible, but we want to be able to work with somebody and not just be told we already have this. And we will donate. We will donate. I'm not even asking for money. I will give you the easement that you need if we can work together so that we can coexist in our farm and our practices. So I don't believe I'm unreasonable. I'm sensible, and I really want to work together to find a common ground where you can have your towers, you can continue and do what you need to do, but also allowing us to change our land, which pays our bills, which allows us to continue to be in rural Columbia County and exist doing what we love to do. And so that's my ask, that we can coexist. And I have maps.
What do you got here?
Of the 7 towers, we've got different parcels. The parcel names are on there. There's the red is the existing power lines, and there's talks of new placements, but we're asking that we have them on the perimeter sides of, you have your right of way. We asked that they be on the perimeters to allow for a water structure. We have irrigation drawings of where these would be in the middle with your power lines running through there, and the parcel numbers are on there. But, you know, it would take a well structure in the middle of these parcels, and so we're asking, here would be, so.
Well, before we get into all the documents, just give me a description of each page you got
Okay,
here.
I've got, there's an edit on each one of these 2, and we've also got it entered in. I've sent these to the PSC as well.
Okay, you have.
So this is already, but these are just additional maps. So we have this entered in at least one time already, but,
All right, but it's these maps that you sent in before.
yes.
Okay.
Yep. I mean, we also graze, we graze cattle underneath these wires as well. You know, we're doing everything we can to coexist and feed our livestock, feed our families, feed the world, and allow people to have power.
Is this the same?
Yeah.
Okay,
Same thing.
let
We
me
can
grab
have this copy.
So I just want to go through it with you, so
Sure.
I know what we have. So first of all. So it counted 9 pages, is that what
Yep.
you, okay, so 9 pages you're giving me. Their maps, on the bottom corner say, soil boring location maps.
Yep, these are ATC
And-
maps as well.
Yep, and also some of them are different. Okay, so
These are all different parcels of the 7 towers
got it.
that we own, that the ATC has power on or running across.
Okay, and this is the existing towers.
Yes,
And that's the orange line.
is the existing wire.
Okay, that's the existing 345 kV line.
Yep.
Okay. And then the stars are soil boring locations, that's indicated there.
Yep,
Your property's marked.
yep,
And so the first 2 pages look, that's pretty simple.
yep.
Third page is, like you were saying, the well location.
So these are the parcel numbers, and then this would be, the existing line runs diagonally through there. And this, we're proposing the existing line change running south of the Old B Road. So
Okay.
to alleviate running through 3 80-acre parcels, we're proposing that we would give you a right of way to run in one straight east-west line to skip across, running through diagonally to the middle of 80-acre parcels.
Okay, so this is the third page. So you have so your proposed line is the dashes
Yep.
and circles. That's
Correct.
the proposed, and the existing line just looks like a straight line across.
It's actually running
Oh,
out diagonal,
so it's not on the picture.
right? It's underneath that. This would be
Okay.
what an irrigation drawing would be.
Okay.
What we're proposing, the future of our farm being.
I got it. Okay.
Irrigation
All
structure.
right, so it would look like without the line in the middle. Okay,
Yep.
got it. And then fourth
This
page,
is what it is right
got
now.
the
So this is
existing,
So that would be what the irrigator looks like. This is what it currently is.
so so the fourth page is the current, the current status of what
Yep.
you're proposing on the third page.
Correct.
And then the fifth page, is that similar?
Both, yep, current
Okay.
design
Is on the 6th page,
and
5th
proposed.
page has got the proposed, okay, thanks, that. What about 7th and 8th pages? Is it similar?
Yep, same thing.
8th page is existing
Yep.
and 7th
Proposed.
page. Then what do you got for the 9th page?
This is just just a line to, just on your own ATC form, just to show what we currently have and where kind of an overall scale of how we plan from a different view.
Okay, so the way I see it, you have the existing line in a straight orange line. And the proposal is X's going across the property, going along the property. Perimeter of the 2 parcels. I guess you have, these are 2 parcels.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, 3 actually.
This one too.
Yep.
Okay, so there's, okay.
So basically
So
be a
there's
straight
2
line. So rather than run it on an angle through all the same parcels, we're
Mhm.
actually that we run
Mhm.
perpendicular to them and then also down the side to rejoin. So it would be there on a different property owner and there. We're actually running.
Okay, so let me just back up. So the parcels boxed in yellow, those are yours,
Yes.
the Mid Plains Holdings. Then the parcel in the, is at the northeast corner above your property, that's a different landowner.
Yes.
Yes, okay. So you would propose to eliminate the orange existing line by going along your property line, north-south on the far west, and then the north
Yeah,
edge of your
so,
property.
yeah, this one here, runs across, but we
Mhm.
asked that it be in this line or in this line of your choosing. We will work with you.
Either one.
Either one, whatever your design merits, either one, which will allow us to put an irrigator in there.
Okay, so
Can't now.
either the far west
Yep.
border or the northern border of your
Yep.
property. Okay, great. That was good to get in there. All right, so I'll take this, put in the record with your document, and I encourage you to speak with utility, with the applicants and commission staff about this. They can help you navigate that.
Right, we're not trying to hold anybody ransom. We're trying to be practical. We're trying to ensure our future as well.
Okay, perfect. All right,
Question mark.
okay, off the record, but
Sorry, I just want to verify, we have your comments in, or the environmental review, but nothing for the public hearing yet. So I just wanted to let you know that, you don't have.
right, so I'm taking your document and we'll put it in the record. The commissioners can see it.
There are 2 copies of it.
All right, that'll work. So great. And so, excellent. Thanks for that.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. All right, so back on the record, that's all the appearance slips I have. Does anyone wish to speak that hasn't had a chance yet? All right. I have nobody on Zoom, so thanks very much, everyone. Appreciate you coming out, and I was excited to hear your comments. I'm glad we were able to receive them. Thanks very much. Take care.